Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Anita and this is where every month I share my knitting and sewing projects with you and other crafts and little bits about out and about in my life in general. I hope you've had a nice month. Today is the bank holiday Monday, the last one in August for the UK. And my grandsons are coming over later on this afternoon and I'm looking after them tomorrow for the last day before they go back to school. So I thought I would record today instead of tomorrow because I usually record on the last Tuesday of every month. I haven't got a great deal to share with you this month because, to be honest, I haven't really felt like doing a lot of crafting, and I don't beat myself up about it. If I don't want to do it, I don't do it. But we have had the boys a lot, which has been lovely, and we've had a few holidays, and all these things take up time and mental space. So we started off the month with a week away in Quay, West Wales, with the two boys. We hired a caravan, a static caravan in Haven holiday site in Quay in West Wales. I don't know if anyone's been there. We booked the most basic caravan, so the cheapest one they had, for 5 days, and we had a lovely time. The caravan itself was fine. It was clean, tidy. It had 2 bedrooms and a living room, dining room, little galley kitchen, a little shower room, and it was very comfortable. And most importantly, it was really near the beach. So you could pay extra and choose where on the site you wanted your caravan to be. But we just went with it and said, well, we'll just land wherever they put us. So we were the furthest you could get away from the clubhouse, which was fine by us. And we were the nearest you could get to the beach, which was absolutely perfect. So you came out of our caravan, turned left, walked a little way, past about 2 more caravans, through a little car park, down a little windy path, and you were on the beach. And Quay Beach is absolutely beautiful. It's quite a narrow beach and it's golden sands and it stretches for miles along, and the tide comes in quite a way, and the sea is shallow for a very long way out, which was perfect for our 10 and 4-year-old grandchildren. And they absolutely adored the beach. And you could walk a little way around to the actual Quay harbour itself. And we did walk there one day, but we had to go along the road because the tide was in. So you would have had to scramble over rocks, and we wouldn't do that with the grandchildren. But Quay itself is beautiful. It's got a nice harbour, lovely little seaside shops, and on a hillside all the houses are painted sort of pastel colours. It's just a really lovely holiday. We spent most of the time at the beach. We had a little beach tent and the boys were just back and forth in the sea and digging sandcastles, and quite often we were the last people on the beach, but they had a whale of a time and they want to go again next year, so that's always a good sign. And then we came back and it was back to work. Yes, I haven't really felt like doing a great deal. I did finish the little bucket bag and the socks and the little pack for Jodie's friend's new baby, which she's had now, and she's beautiful. I will ask permission if I can put a little photo of her in. She's not wearing the socks, but just of her, because she's very sweet, as all new babies are. And the only other thing I've been working on is my cardigan, which is based on the Anouk Cardigan by Andi Satterlund. And the yarn I am using is the Drops Nepal. Here it is, shade 3620, which I think is cherry red, because it doesn't look the right colour on the screen. Maybe it will when I do the editing. I'm in my conservatory now because it's the brightest place to be. It's actually turning out to be quite a nice day at the moment, but we have had quite a lot of horrible weather, sort of sun and then showers, but it's sunny at the moment, so the conservatory was the best place to be. So anyway, I'm making it out of this, and most of Andi's patterns are for worsted weight, which we don't really get in the UK, so I think this is chunky. Or what does it say? 65% wool, 35% alpaca. Yarn group C, and it needs a 5mm needle. So yes, I'm pretty sure it's chunky that we use instead of the worsted. And I am doing the Anouk, but I am not doing some of the details that she has. I want to do ribbing around the neckband and the waist and the cuffs instead of the pattern that she's got there. I don't know if you can see, which I just think is knit a row, purl a row, because it's in the, well, it's not in the round, but it's all in one piece. Obviously can't be in the round for cardigan, can it? And I didn't want to do the sleeves like that. I'm just going to do ribbing. And I didn't do the pattern around the bottom. I don't know if you can see it in the picture. If not, I'll put a still picture in. But I did do a bit of that pattern at the back. I didn't mean to, but that's where I started, and then, but I don't mind it because it adds a bit of interest. Let's see, I've got details of the pattern I've been writing in my book, because I can tell you what size I decided to do. Right, I've gone with a size small, which is a 33 inch, because you need 3 inches of negative ease, and I used my high bust measurement for that rather than my normal bust. And this is how far I've got. I did take this to the caravan with me, but we didn't do a lot. So I'm making a cropped version, and I have, let's see, done a sleeve, and then I just, like I say, did a 2x2 rib, and I've done 2x2 rib at the bottom, and now I'm just working on this last sleeve. I like using DPNs for the sleeves. I do like DPNs altogether. I know some people don't, but I find it much quicker than magic loop. And then I've just got to do the neckband, so that's all really I've been working on. I haven't even been doing that much. I just sit in the evenings and sometimes put a few rows on it, but like I say, I haven't been feeling like doing that. I have been reading, and of course I can't read and knit, so you've got to choose one or other. And I did read, I have just finished a book called Rochester Place, but I've left that upstairs now, and can't remember the name of the author. And it was okay. I wouldn't really recommend it. It was basically about two women, really, a woman and a girl, and their life during the war. One had come over from Spain to flee the conflict there, and there's a bit of mystery surrounding them and things. It was okay, but I wouldn't rush out to look for another book from that author, so I don't want to say bad things about people, about things or books or anything, but sometimes, you know, you want an honest opinion, don't you? And you might get that book and really enjoy it. I will put a picture in so you can see who the author was and everything. You can try it yourself. I'll put a picture of the back as well that tells you more about it. I mean, it was an enjoyable enough read, but I wasn't sorry when I finished it. Some books you are a bit gutted, aren't you, when you finished it, because you get to know the characters and like them. But anyway, I'm not talking about books. I did mention books last time, and a couple of you said that you enjoyed my book reviews, and I don't think I'm very articulate, so thank you for that. But if I do read a book, and I think what I'll do is if I read a book and I enjoy it, I will share it. But if I read a book and I don't think that much of it, I just won't mention it. And I think that's a better way than putting people's books down, because one book I might not enjoy, other people might. So so that's all I've been working on, and I have got a few acquisitions now. The first thing, I bought a book from Gemma's D-Stash page. You may know Gemma from Raining Cats and Bobbins podcast, and she hasn't done any filming for a little while, but she's moving house, and she said she really misses it, and she's hoping when she's moved and settled in she will start vlogging again, which is great because she does really nice videos about her sewing journey. And I bought this from her D-Stash, Gertie Sews Vintage Casual, because I have got 2 of Gertie's books, but I didn't have this one obviously, and I have yet to make anything out of them, but I am part of Boba Bun's sewing club, and we were doing bodice fitting a couple of months ago, and she used the basic bodice from Gertie's book, which I had, so I have made the toile, but I haven't actually made anything yet. So I do hope in the future, when my sewing mojo comes back, to make something from that. And then I bought a child's pattern, because my oldest grandson Harry is 10, like I say, and he's not tall for his age, but he's tall and thin for his body. And when they are looking for school trousers for him, if they get a pair that fits him in the waist, they're too short in the leg, and if they fit him in the leg, they're too big at the waist. So Jodie was struggling a little bit to find him a really nice pair of fitted school trousers, and so I thought I'd have a go at making him some, but I'm having real difficulty in finding the right weight and colour fabric for his school uniform. Now, I've got an old pair of trousers to show you, because I'm hoping you might be able to help me source the material. So these are his school trousers. They're just generally a dark grey, and they're quite a sort of medium weight fabric. And it says here, does it say? Right, these are 65% polyester and 35% viscose. So I saw this pattern, Berger Kids 9433, and I thought those sort of suit trousers were the perfect school trousers. They're just like his school trousers, and someone did put on, I always look on Instagram, I do the hashtag and look the patterns up to see what other people have how they've made them, what fabrics and what comments. And a lady has said she's put elastic in the back to make it a little bit better for her. I think it was her grandson she made some for. So I might do that. But I'm having difficulty finding the right fabric. Now I went on to Dalston Mills site, and they had some grey that looked, the description described it as just grey, and I thought this would be alright, but you can't even see, it's very light, lighter than it's looking on the screen, and it's got a slight sheen to it, and it's a little bit too thin, and most importantly it's way lighter than his school trousers. And then I asked them, you could add the matching thread, and they sent me this, just like that, loose. It doesn't even look new, really quite tatty, and I don't know what make. I mean, I'm used to getting fabric from Minerva, and they usually give you the Gutterman thread, which I suppose we've just been spoilt, so I will use that, but I know if you don't have very good quality thread, it can mess with your machine, and I don't want anything to hinder my sewing because I need all the help I can get. So that one wasn't any good, and I bought two meters of that, so I don't know what to do with that. I might make a skirt or something for work, but I should have really just got a sample. So I learnt my lesson, and then I did order a sample from Minerva, which I thought was closer to the colour, and it's not bad. but it's still much lighter. This is more a grey and this is more a charcoaly grey. And even if I got away with making them with this colour, it's ever so light. It's just too lightweight. And it says dark grey, but it's still not as dark as I would like. And it doesn't say anything else on the little tab, but it's too lightweight. It's, even for a dress, I think that would feel you'd want to line it. So if anyone knows anywhere where you can buy school uniform dark grey fabric for trousers, I would really appreciate it. I don't know where all these shops get their fabric stocks from, but I've looked on all the sites. I know the better quality fabric shops online. I've looked on Etsy and eBay, and I can't seem to find anything that's suitable. And I mean, I might not be able to make them very well anyway. I've not made a zip like that with the flap over, and they might be awful, but I really like to try. And then if I do make them and they work well, it'll be perfect, because I can make both boys trousers every year that fit them, instead of, you know, them have, well, I don't know what they're going to do with Harry. I said it's obviously more important to get the leg length, and maybe we can take them in at the waist, but that's not very nice, is it? And then also, although we're at the end of August, our work, and where I work, has already told us where we are going for our Christmas party this year, and we're going to a very nice hotel. And I thought I might have a go at making my own dress. Now, I thought if I make it nice and early, if I make a total mess of it, I've still got plenty of time to look for a shop bought one, because I have no faith in my own sewing ability. And I thought I would make quite a simple dress, so less things to go wrong. So I am making a dress out of the Tilly and the Buttons stretch book, because Tilly's patterns are always very well, has a lot of detail, and the instructions are very good. And I thought I'd have a go at making the Joni dress in velvet, and it has to be stretch velvet with at least 25% stretch. Now again, I'm finding it difficult to find a good fabric. When I look online, it seems to be fabric for dressmaking and upholstery, all in the same fabric, and some of the velvets don't have stretch, and some don't tell you how much stretch. And I went into Cardiff on Saturday and to John Lewis and had a look around their fabric haberdashery department, and the one in Cardiff has a lot of fabric, but I never really find anything I like. They had one velvet, a deep blue, but I wanted green, but it was £10 a metre, and I thought, well, and it had stretch, so I thought, well, at least I could have a go with that. And I asked the lady how much stretch it had, and she did look it up for me, but she couldn't find any detail on how much stretch. So as the book said, it needs at least 25% stretch. I thought that obviously is an important part of the fabric requirements, so I best stick to it. So I've found this fabric, I think it was on eBay, Etsy, and it's from Fabrics. I'll put the details in the notes. And it's this green, it's a really nice green. It's not coming up on the screen as very nice. If you can see, it obviously catches the light. And this is quite lightweight. It does have stretch one way, which is fine as long as you make sure that stretch goes crossways. And this was just a sample. And I believe, I'm not sure if it was 100% polyester. It doesn't say on the sheet here, but it did say, there it says, bottle green, luxurious plain vella. So it's not velvet, it's vella, but it's quite I think that will be quite drapey, and I might get a couple of metres of that. I think you need 2.3 metres, so obviously I have to get 2.5. And I do want to make the dress slightly longer, and the Joni's got that knot detail there, and then it swings out, so I thought if I make that a little bit longer, that'd be a very nice Christmas dress. I think I want to make sure that you can stroke it downwards and make sure all the pieces are going the same way. I've never worked with anything like this, but I do know there are a few rules. So the stretch has to be that way, and I think the pile, is it the pile, has to be that way. So if any of you know anywhere where you can get very nice velvet fabrics for dressmaking with 25% stretch, please let me know that as well. Right, so that's everything for me this month. I will I have put the fit pictures. So like I say, it's Bank Holiday Monday today. It's looking quite nice, so I think Martin and I might go for a little walk. He has bought a camera. It's not a GoPro, it's something Action 3. It's like 2 little cubes, and then it's like a GoPro that you can walk around, and it doesn't jog. And he wants to check it out. He wanted to buy one because when we were away and we would go snorkeling, he said, wouldn't it be great if he had a camera and he could have filmed the fish? And this camera is waterproof up to a certain depth, but we wouldn't have gone any deeper than that. But you can also use it for out and about. So if we go somewhere nice, I might put a few photos at the end, like I used to do when I used to do walkies with Charlie, when we used to have our old English sheepdog. And I used to put some pictures up at the end, and people used to enjoy seeing a little bit of where someone else lives in the country or in the world, depending where you're watching from. So I'm sorry it's so short, but like I say, I haven't really been feeling like doing much crafting because I've been enjoying other things, and I've also been decluttering the house a little bit. I think going away and staying, well, we stayed in an apartment when we went to Lanzarote, and staying in the caravan where you have, they are fully equipped, but they're very basic, and it's just so nice not to have loads and loads of stuff around. So I've been trying to sort through everything, because sometimes you can't see what you've got because you've got so much stuff, and you end up buying more of the same thing because you just don't know where it is or can't see it for all this stuff. So I'm having a little bit of a declutter, but it takes a long time, and especially when it's your craft stuff, because it's different with clothes and you think, well, I haven't worn that for over a year, I can get rid. But when it's your craft things, you just think, well, I might need it. 3 years down the line I might have a project and I need lollipop sticks or wooden pegs or Union Jack flags, cocktail sticks. All these things I've been trying to part with. So I know you probably feel my pain if you've tried to declutter your craft things. So I shall let you know how I get on next month. So I hope you all have a lovely September. I hope if you have children or grandchildren going back to school, they are looking forward to it. And I shall see you all at the end of September. Take care, and I shall see you soon.